Do you find yourself pouring from an empty cup every single morning, rushing to get everyone ready while your own needs wait again? Today, we're talking about why winning your morning isn't selfish, it's survival, and how even 10 minutes can shift your entire day from surviving to thriving. Today, I'm sharing the neuroscience behind morning rituals and why they might be the missing piece in feeling like yourself again. Stay tuned. Welcome to Fulfillment Therapy. I'm Kendra Nielsen, wife, mom, and licensed therapist. Do you ever feel like you're doing everything right, but you're still exhausted and empty? Did you think life, marriage, and parenting would be simpler and more rewarding? Sometimes you just want to crawl back into bed and lose yourself in screen time and chocolate, rather than face that personal or family stress. You are not alone. This podcast helps you break free of the rat race and build a richer, more meaningful life, flourishing incrementally and realistically, improving your mental health and wellness, and living with deeper purpose beyond the mundane, no matter where you are in life's journey. Welcome back, my friends. Today is a little bit different. I've had several people reach out, listeners and even clients, saying, I would love to be on your podcast, but I'm super insecure. I do not want to have people see me or hear me. And I was like, no problem. Just give me a list of questions and I'll answer them myself. You don't have to be on the video. If that is you, feel free to reach out to us at hello@fulfillmenttherapy.org and I can do the same for you. And there's been one thing that I keep getting questions on and something that I've had to fine tune again and again. And so I felt like it would be helpful to come back to that, especially as one listener submitted some questions for me to answer. I really believe that this is going to help you in your own journey. But I'm going to start out with a personal story. So as many of you know, and as I've talked about on the podcast before, I struggle with seasonal affective disorder and where I live in Idaho, and I've also lived in Wisconsin and Minnesota. And they are all consistently parts of the United States that do not get as much sunshine, especially half of the year. And I am struggling with that. And hopefully someday I will move where there's more sunshine. But until then, I was like, I can't be that person that keeps making excuses and need to take some action because it impacts not only me, but my family. So I did that. And honestly, every year I fine tune it a little bit more. Sometimes I fall off the bandwagon for a little bit and then I hop back on. I'm getting better and better at making it something that is best suited to me. So I'm going to share what I do, but I want you to keep in mind there might be things for you that work better. I have read a lot of books about morning routines and about the science behind it and mental health books, all of which I've kind of incorporated parts that help me the most. Certain times of year, it might have to look a little bit different. Like summers, I usually back off of it a little bit. I'm getting outside more. I'm doing different things where I don't necessarily have to do all of these, or I do some of them. Some of the things I'll talk about today are definitely non-negotiables, and others can be tweaked according to travel or whatever that might be. So that's kind of the background on that. I want to answer these questions, and then I'll go into more of those details as I go. This listener asked me, what does your personal morning ritual look like, and how long have you been practicing it? Well, I've been practicing variations of this, honestly, probably since I was 16. I've talked before on the podcast episode about Savers by Hal Elrod, I believe, Morning Routine, Morning Miracle, and several other people, like different renditions. I've done naturally since I was 16, like especially the movement, but I haven't really dialed in those other parts until, probably after babies. I didn't even know about this for a while. So maybe the last few years, and I'll tell you what mine currently looks like. Each year I might alter this just a little bit, but this is what it looks like right now. I'm pulling out my paper to show you that I have next to me. What I do is I go to the gym. I get up with my husband. He's currently getting up with me, which has been really nice. Usually I do this on my own, but I get up at 4:45. He likes the extra 15 minutes. The night before, I have already put my workout clothes out, my water bottle, my shoes, my socks. Everything that I need is right there and ready, including my clothes to get ready in after all of that. I take my shower in the evening, so I don't have to worry about any of those things. And then I go to the gym, and when I come home, I go into my office and I have a little fridge. I set everything up so this would be very simple. I even got a little microwave. It's all ready to go. I researched, I said, what are the best things to have in the morning? You might all have different ideas on what that might be. For me, I don't drink coffee, so I wanted something in my morning ritual that would be cozy and something I would look forward to. So I have some aromatherapy. I have essential oils that I like, and I turn that on right as I start my miracle morning. But before I do that, I made very healthy muffins with the best possible ingredients, and I put all of the good stuff I could find in those muffins. And so there's more fiber, there's more like everything in there. And I froze those. I put them in my little freezer in my fridge. And I get one of those out when I come back from the gym and do half water, half almond milk. I put that in the microwave for a little while, and then I start steeping my tea. I put my tea in there, a very healthy tea, because I don't drink caffeine. It's like a turmeric tea, or there's even a dandy blend tea. It's like a dandelion tea with some other stuff that's healthy for you. There's just different variations that I've come to really love. So it's ready to go when I am done getting ready. While that's sitting, I'll get ready for the day. I'll listen to a spiritual podcast or something, maybe even a mental health book. And then I come back and this is what I do. My food is now ready to go. I sit down on a couch or on a bed and I take about 10 deep, slow breaths. And I really ground myself and I just close my eyes and I let go of any rushing that I've been doing. Then I say a very brief prayer, like, God, help me be calm today. So that's considerate, attentive, loving, and mindful. So help me be mindful today. And I just visualize what that will look like with my eyes closed and with that deep breathing. And then I have this all typed up, so I just go right through it. My intention today is blank. And I just mindfully think about what that intention might be. And then I give brief affirmations. So say one short identity-based affirmation 2 to 3 times a day. For example, with God's help, I am a present, playful wife, mother, and person today. It changes based on the day. Or I choose connection over tasks today. Or whatever it is for your personality type that resonates, it's the thing that you've been really focused on and you really want to do more than any other. And this is the thing that shifts a lot based on what I'm trying to accomplish. And then I will pull out my phone. I try to avoid my phone as much as possible the first part of the day. And I will do the voice memo app on my phone and I will just audio journal, talk about what drained me the most yesterday and briefly explore what was draining and why. And then for me personally, because of my faith background, I ask, where did I see the hand of God in my life yesterday? What are the good things that I noticed? When did I feel the most like the mom, the wife, the friend, the human that I want to be? After that, I talk about the top 3 things that I'm grateful for from the previous day or even that morning. And then how I lived my top values. This will be different for you. Your top values are not going to be the same as mine, and you have to identify what yours are. But mine are faith, family, and adventure or novelty or growth. So those are some of the more important ones for my mental health. I'll just read you exactly what I put down. What's one way I will live my faith today? What's one way I will honor my family today? What's one small adventure or novelty or growth area I can allow today? Every day it's building on each other. I set that intention or that freedom, that presence for the day. And I say, if I could get one thing right today in line with my values, it would be one thing I will not do today to protect my values is. And then I end with my closing mantra that I repeat quietly while I just sit and breathe and I smell that aromatherapy that I've turned on. Then I turn off my phone. At the end of the week, there's a little button that will transcribe everything on that audio memo. It transcribes it all. I just copy and paste it into my digital journal I did forget to mention, I don't always have time, but do a recap of the day before, like a little journal entry too. So it has those things, but also a journaling aspect. And because it's daily, it doesn't have to be very long. At the end of the week, I'll add those all to my journal. For now, I just shut my phone and then I take my vitamins and eat my breakfast, whether it's a healthy omelet I've made ahead of time in big batches and a lot of healthy vegetables in there, things like that, or my super healthy muffin and my healthy tea. And I will eat those things. While I'm doing that, I'll track my top goals. It doesn't have to be excessive. It can only be one if you're starting out. For my 5 right now, I just say, am I tracking my food daily? Now, I don't always do that. And depending on the person, I would recommend against doing that. But for me, after the holidays, I get off track and I forget what I'm consuming as much. And this is helping me get back into those better habits. And I know that I'm not going to take it to an unhealthy space. Like it's simply for awareness. So I track my food daily. Like I take pictures and that's all that I do really. In this app, I know if I have enough protein and if I'm going over the amount that would be wise for me. Then my other habit is, did I do my full morning ritual? Did I give it my best effort? Did I exercise? Did I read scriptures as a family and do couple prayer, individual prayer? Those are the top things that I care about. I often tweak this. So sometimes I make it more specific. Did I spend even just a few minutes one-on-one with one of my kids? Like I've said, 15 minutes of intentional time with a child a day. And it obviously might be more than that, but where you put away all devices and you just are present with them and playful and attentive, something like that. It can be very simple, but I adjust those as needed. Right now, I'm just getting back into things as I slipped away from some of those. Those are the ones that matter to me right now. I created a little tracking sheet. It's just a 90-day tracker, and you can find those online. I have those on my website, I believe. You can email us if you need that as well. I've done my vitamins, my food, my goal tracking. When I break this down, you might be like, wow, that's so overwhelming. I want nothing to do with that. My friends, I promise you, you don't have to do this. This is just me as a therapist, knowing what works, what doesn't, wanting to get really dialed in at this point right now. Now, all of this stuff really does only take me about 15 minutes. It's not long. It's broken down in very simple ways so that I can build off of each day and live with more intentionality and not get stuck in that complacency where I'm just existing. I don't want to live a life where I'm just existing, just surviving, going through the motions. I'm not joyful in that space. I feel lost, listless, depressed, and tired. So if you find yourself starting to feel like that, try this 15-minute thing. Now, the movement, I do take longer. That's a big non-negotiable for me because that wakes me up. It gets me out of this anxious state, just wanting to put the covers back over my head. It helps me move forward and see the world in a better way if I start with movement first thing. I love to get my heart rate up. But for you, it might be different. It might be more gentle. It might be something else entirely. You do not have to do this exactly like me, but that's what it looks like. The next question she asked was, as a therapist, what made you realize the importance of having a morning ritual in the first place? Well, like I mentioned, I started to see myself slipping back. I started to see myself being more irritable with my kids, impatient with my husband, focusing on what isn't going right. Even though I knew there was so much good in my life, it's like I couldn't see it. And so that's when I knew that I needed to really get a morning ritual in place and make it something that I could enjoy. And then also when you see the fruits of it, you know how important it is. For example, seasonal affective disorder for me is pretty rough. Like I just do everything I can sometimes and I'm throwing everything at it and I'm just surviving even still in the darkest weeks and the coldest weeks. I've noticed as I stick to this routine with the most effective vitamins, with healthy meals, with all of those things, that I am seeing the good more. I'm not fault finding as much. I'm not going to escapism with screens as much. Sometimes I do in the evening when it's been a really long day. Like I might watch a show while knitting and there's still space for that. But communicating where I'm at with my family and being open and honest about things. But anyway, what I was saying, the fruits of that I've noticed is I am more positive. I am pausing and not going so quickly to tasks or being negative. I'm not so impatient. I'm seeing these small shifts that start to build and build. Over time, you realize, wait, I feel more like myself. It just kind of snuck up on me. I didn't even notice it, but I am feeling better. And I know that happens with my clients, and that can happen to you as well. If today's episode resonated with you and you're ready to dive deeper into creating the life you need and deserve, I'd love to invite you to explore our courses at fulfillmenttherapy.org. We have resources specifically designed to help parents like you prioritize yourself without the guilt. I'll see you back here shortly for part 2. Hey friends, if you enjoyed this episode, a quick 30-second share can help someone else find support and help this podcast grow. Leaving a review on Apple Podcasts boosts visibility and keeps the show alive. Your simple acts make a big difference. I'll see you back here each week for more life-changing episodes.